to sit down and watch them. So I can do it quick. There you go, kid. It's low light, kid. It's low light.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Jason Glickman's Comedy Showcase number 2. Speaking of number 2, it brings me to a question that I once heard. I don't know if you've heard it before, but the question is, do you look at the paper after you wipe? Now, this is a serious question. To me, it's an obvious answer. Of course you look at the paper after you wipe. I mean, how else are you going to know when you're done wiping? You continually wipe and look at the paper, and when there's nothing left on the paper, that's when you're done. But I guarantee, let me see how many people are here, there's probably 3 or 4 people at least in this audience right now who actually don't look at the paper after they wipe. And you can probably tell which ones they are, because if you're sitting next to them, they smell like shit. So while we're on the topic of bathrooms and things like that, okay, here's the thing. When a girl goes to the bathroom, there's plenty of things that she can say that are completely acceptable. I'm going to go use the restroom, excuse me, I got a tinkle. Or, you know, usually it's like, hey, Donna, I'm going to go to the bathroom. You want to come? Okay, let's go. We're all going to go to the bathroom, right? But here's the thing. When a guy uses the bathroom, you're a guy, you're a dude. There's only one thing that's really acceptable for you to say. And it's kind of like, hey, I'll be right back. I got to go take a piss. But the thing that's funny about it is that most people think that that's obnoxious. But it's really the most acceptable thing to say. Because what are the other options? What are you going to say? I gotta pee. That's one, right? You'd be like, I gotta go wee-wee. No, you're not 6 years old. You can't say that. Or let's just use the medical term. Because the funniest thing is that the medical term actually sounds much dirtier than the slang. Excuse me, I'm gonna go urinate. Speaking of all this, it actually reminds me of a conversation that took place between my 2 parents when I was younger. And the thing is that my mother thought that I had no common sense. Now, I think I'm a pretty smart guy, and my father gave me the street smarts. When it comes to like the simple things in life, I usually just don't get it. So, it's like a family kind of holiday thing, and everybody's gathered around, and my mother's sitting there talking to my father, and she's like, you know, Jason doesn't have any common sense. And my father's like, my son has common sense. I'll show you my son has common sense. Jason, do you lift the toilet seat when you pee? I looked right at my dad. I was probably like 8 years old, and I said, well, which one? Okay. Maybe not for everybody, but that's okay. And at this point, I got to refer to my notes. All right, I actually want to tell you guys a little story about my last night adventure, okay? See, me and my girlfriend were kind of celebrating, and it's really not important what we were celebrating, but we were really celebrating, you know? About 4:30 in the morning rolls around, and we ran out of wine, and she's like, you know, is there anywhere where we could get more wine? I look at the clock, it's 4:30, and I said, you know what? There's a CVS on Palmetto and Powerline, and for those of you who don't know, CVS on Palmetto and Powerline sells beer and wine till 5 o'clock in the morning.
Woo!
Good thing to know.
Yeah!
So, what do? I run upstairs, I grab a backpack, my MP3 player, I grab my bike, and I fucking haul ass. It's 20 minutes one way, 20 minutes back. Okay? So I go on this trip, I'm fucking sweaty as hell, I'm riding back. The problem is that the wine is not cold. And right now my fucking ice machine is broken, so I gotta go fucking buy ice. But I don't want to carry a bag of ice that whole way, so I figured I'll just go to the gas station that's right across the street from where I live. So I ride all the way back to the gas station. I make fucking record time. And anybody that knows this, you go to a gas station at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, any gas station that's open that late, you know, or 24 hours, they have to close. There's a sign. You know, you get there, you're like, oh, I just need to stop real quick at the gas station. You walk up, sign on the door, reopen in 15 minutes. They're counting the fucking drawer, right? So you're standing here, waiting. I'm standing here for 10 minutes, all right? And these 2 Spanish dudes roll up, you know, and they're just like, hey, what's going on, you know? And I'm like, well, I told them the story. I'm like, oh, I just fucking rode my bike all the way to fucking Palmetto and Powerline. I'm back. I live right over fucking here. I'm like, you know, I need ice. This fucking guy's counting the drawer. I've been standing there for 10 minutes. He's got to be, we can wait it out. He's got to be a couple more minutes, right? Well, it turns out that these 2 Spanish guys are there to fucking buy beer. Because this guy sells after hours, and it's fucking right across the street from my fucking house. I didn't even need to make the fucking bike ride. I could have just bought the fucking beer there. Well, now I know. Now I know. And I can't tell you the answer to that one because I can't tell you that place because that's just, anyways, that's secrecy. That's what it is. And let me ask you guys a question. I'm going to talk to the audience for a second. Who here has skydove before? By a show of hands. We got one skydiver. Did you like it? You loved it. Okay. It was good. Who here has bungee jumped? Nobody's bungee jumped. Okay. Well, everybody thinks that skydiving is the biggest rush. Wrong. Let me just tell you the truth. When I was down in Costa Rica, I jumped off a 284-foot gorge. Okay? And it was fucking great. It was the best experience of my life. And basically how it works is, you got this fucking this cord hanging from you, the bungee cord. And it's got a lot of weight to it. So you got to stand out to the edge, So you walk out to the edge, it's really heavy. But they're like, no, you got to get more, you got to get your toes off the edge. And I'm like, it's really scary. Like, well, what if I fall? What's the fucking difference? You're going to jump anyway. And then you got the whole joke where it's like, oh yeah, well, if your friends were jumping off a bridge, would you do it? Blah, 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 all that. Right? So, bottom line is, you stand out and you got to basically jump like Superman off this fucking bridge. So you jump. And it's fucking great. And it's not scary at all to me. But to me, the scariest part is after you jump and you swing and bounce back and forth, now you're hanging upside down. And they have to lower a fucking rope. And you got this fucking buckle, and you're hanging upside down, and you gotta fucking undo the buckle, hook this cord in there. Now I'm flipping the fuck out. I'm hanging upside down, and I'm just like, I'm screwing the thing the wrong way. It won't open, right? But finally I get it open. And then the funny thing they do is as they're raising you up, you're almost to the top. They get your buddy to fucking distract you for a second, and they just let you loose for a second. It was really fun. But in comparison, everybody thinks that skydiving is great, and it's really not, because basically you go up in a plane, and you really can't even see the fucking ground, and you have to jump tandem the first time. So you got some guy that's like up your fucking ass, and you don't have to jump yourself. You just really scoot to the end, and you just fucking lean forward and fall. So, in my opinion, bungee jumping is, much better than skydiving. Okay, one more thing, my buddy's over here filming this shit. I want to put everything on YouTube and this and that, and that's my whole plan and all. But the thing is I don't have that fucking Adobe Flash Player because I got a fucking virus. Because, I don't know if you guys, anybody got this shit? You get one of these, like a message on Facebook, and it's like, oh, I saw your funny face on YouTube in a YouTube video, right? You fucking open it up, and you get a fucking virus. See, but the thing is I'm not pissed that I got the virus. I'm pissed because I thought it was actually on YouTube. Anyways, that's it for the evening. Thank you very much, and have a good night.